I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
for which it
stands
one
one
nation,
nation, under God,
indivisible,
with liberty.
and justice for all.
Thanks, Frank.
Thank you, Frank.
Welcome.
Okay. Roll call. We have, let's see, alphabetical order: Joe Casella, myself, Nick Cifarelli, and Frank Lohman. Absent are Nancy Blomstrom and Steve Larson, which means we do have a quorum.
Okay.
Skipped around, did the pledge out of order. Approving the minutes from the February 13th meeting. So I guess it's been a little while.
Yeah.
Anybody want to hit on that or make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve as long as Tracy changed my spelling of my name.
It was in the amended minutes.
Yes.
Second that.
See?
Make a motion to approve.
We did.
All right,
Second.
I heard Joe second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Nope. Okay, motion passes. Let's see. Correspondence and public communication. So we got the one email that Jim Jinks quickly acted on from the resident over in the Cedar Lane, Flagler area. And it looks like it was a pretty positive result. The chief and deputy chief looked at it, they assessed it, and it looks like they are getting the stop sign plus a couple other signs and markings over in that area, which is good. And it looked like that was it for public communication. Don, did you say you had some correspondence?
I just had, I think we all got the email from Jim Jinks that he wasn't going to be here, and he asked if the PSC wanted to make pass a resolution or make a statement in favor of increasing our spending on sidewalks. Did you guys get that?
Let's do that under new business, please.
Okay.
I have, Dickie, I appreciate what our liaison did, but I would say that, I don't mind putting it in the record, Tracy, that I thought, and I know he's running for office, all right, but I kind of thought that the thing was addressed to the Cheshire Public Safety Commission and probably should have allowed us some time to look at it and to make a recommendation to whomever, as opposed to candidate for public legislature jumping in and say, I'll take it up with the Neil Drive. I think he possibly overstepped what I would consider his role. Okay, he's a liaison. He's not a member of the commission. That should have been discussed tonight about what we think. Not that he jumps in and says, okay, I'll take care of it, which I'm glad he did. Don't get me wrong. But I really believe that that was probably an overstepping of what he should have done. That's my opinion. And Tracy, I don't mind putting that in the record.
Okay.
You know, he's running for office. God bless him. So he's got another vote.
And I would agree with Frank, given the timing of it. We got the correspondence yesterday. We were having a meeting tonight that we could have waited one day to discuss it. So yeah. I think that's perfectly fair in saying that.
It was addressed. I'm not sure what the role of a liaison is.
Well, we as a body are an extension of the council as an advisory board to them.
Right.
So whatever we do, we're supposed to recommend to them, and as our liaison, all we would do is then take our recommendation, pass it to Jim.
I really believe, Nick, that it would have been nice had Mr. Jinks given us an opportunity to discuss it at the council level or at the committee level.
I agree.
That's all I'm going to say.
Yep, that's perfectly fair.
Next time I see Jim, I will tell him that. You know, I have no fear of doing that. That's 2 cents.
Thank you. Anybody else have anything for correspondence and public communication? No?
No.
Oh, perfect. Moving right along. Unfinished business. Sightline surveys. Do we have anything for sightline survey? No. Safety sign updates. They were changed May 18th.
Look great.
Perfect.
Sign that needs to be paint it or whatever, but that can wait.
Radar speed monitoring.
I have something there, please.
One second on the signs. If they were changed May 18th, it's usually about once a month, so we'll probably come up with the next thing we will change them. So. And there'll be summer edition.
I have a question on the speed signs with our Sergeant Miller.
Okay.
I get to walk my dog about, I'm not too lazy, 7:30, 8 o'clock. Admittedly, over the COVID crisis, traffic has been rather minimal. In the last 2 days, we've got trucks, landscaping trucks, big trucks, whatever. They're flying down Route 10.
Mm-hmm.
Flying down Route 10. Probably, I'm not a trained police officer, but I could tell you they're well over the 35 miles an hour, probably 60 miles an hour. Is there any way, Don, that Cheshire can move the signs from, well, I should ask, but is there any way that the signs that we have can determine the speed of a vehicle and record it?
I don't believe that they would identify the vehicle
No,
for enforcement. They will give you individual speeds throughout the day. Yeah.
Hold on. I'm sorry. Hey. As I said, my friend's in the hospital and not doing well. He's on his last legs with cancer.
Oh my gosh, so sorry.
Thank you. Is there any way, because it's a public, or what do you call it, state highway, that we can put a sign on Route 10? Or is that against the rules?
I think we've had signage on Route 10 before, right, Tracy? I believe. I can check on that for you, Frank.
I wish you would.
Around the school, I would think we probably have.
Right.
Is that the area you're talking, Frank? Is 10 by Bartlum or
Yeah.
down there?
10 by Higgins.
10 by Higgins?
Before Higgins. 10 by Osterman. Okay. I mean, these trucks are doing 60 miles an hour. Easy. And I'm sitting there saying, my God, it's scary. Because what happens when you come around that corner, you have a left to take on Higgins, and you can go straight up towards the high school.
Right.
That road splits on a bend. You think Cedar Lane's in danger? This thing, and the people who are in the right-hand lane take that corner and move over, and I'll tell you what, they're probably 12 inches from the curb, doing 65 miles an hour.
Right.
So if you could put a sign up. Now, do we have any, what do you call it? Any signs or any whatever that can tell you and record how fast they're going and record it?
And report it?
We've got 70 miles an hour on 16 vehicles out of 20.
Yeah, they'll get all that kind of information.
They will.
Yeah, so I'll talk to our traffic division tomorrow, and if we can get that set up for a time frame of a week, 2 weeks, something like that, what I would do is I'd try to have those numbers for you for the next week or next meeting, so we can actually talk about how fast they are, and I'll let you know if there's been enforcement and things like that.
I'm no judge of speed. You guys are all trained in that stuff. But I'll tell you what, they are way over 35 miles an hour.
Yeah, and the boxes we have will tell you, when the most cars are speeding, when what the high speed is, low speed. It gives you a lot of information. So I'll talk to you. Talking northbound, most likely.
Say again.
Northbound is what you're thinking.
Southbound.
South.
Northbound. Northbound.
Okay.
Northbound.
So northbound 10 by Higgins.
By Higgins.
For
the light. And you can surprise how many people make that red light.
I'll talk to Officer Zaskowitz tomorrow, and I will try to get an email out to you guys probably early next week, just saying that we're going forward with it, and I'll hopefully have numbers for you for the next meeting. Thank
you, because all of a sudden I'm seeing bent signs on Route 10. Traffic signs that are bent. Obviously, somebody hit them.
Right.
Drove away, and you guys sort of helped them get away, or whatever. That's a dangerous part of Route 10. Anyway, I'm done.
No, it's curious. I'm looking at the sign locations right now, and they're all concentrated to that one cluster, Mountain, a couple side streets in Sorghum Mill. Have there been increased complaints in that one area?
That's my guess. Yeah.
The problem, Nikki, is that the sign that's on Mountain Road, because I was just over there the other day, the one sign that goes up to North Brooksdale is like, I don't know, 50 yards, 60 yards before you get to the stop sign. People aren't going, unless they're planning on going through that very dangerous corner, they're not going to be speeding there. They're going to be speeding up the other end by Coleman Road and, not Coleman Road, by, what do you call it? Whatever the street is that comes down from Route 10. That's where they're going to be speeding.
What, Higgins?
Higgins, before Higgins.
Ginny Hill.
Before Higgins. God, there's a senior moment. What's
Ginny
this
Hill.
all the way down? What is it?
Ginny Hill.
No. I'm talking about down on Mountain Road.
Cornwall?
Sorry.
Cornwall. Thank you. That's where they're going to be speeding.
There might be a bunch of signs there too, Nick, because I know there's a lot of construction going on. So a lot of times you get trucks going in and out of neighborhoods. People see the truck and they assume it's flying. So that could be an increased amount of complaints. I don't know for sure, but that's my guess on that.
Well, I will say that I now, after 5 years here walking my dog on Route 10, I understand when his truck's coming, and so does she. But you've got cars, especially now that the highways or the road is basically open. Okay, I mean, they're flying up Route 10, flying. And I think what we should do is look at a monitor, and then maybe put a radar trap at the Chapman property, where the little turnaround is by the trail.
Yep.
I mean, it's crazy. It really is. I'm sorry.
That's where you almost need that black box one, though, not the big sign, because you want to truly get real numbers. You don't want to scare them. That big,
Well,
the black
that's what I
box
think
they
we
mount.
do too, and then you could tailor the enforcement to when you're, if you're walking every day, Frank, and you see the same car every day at 7:35, then we'd have somebody out there at 7:30 to hopefully get that one guy who's the problem, or if it's 10 guys that's the problem,
Believe me, it is a problem. Mickey, what do you mean by a black box?
To my knowledge, there's two different types of devices they have. One is a black box that is just used for capturing like speeds and recording data, and the other one actually displays your speed as you go through. So you wouldn't want the one that displays your speed, because that's more of like a game. You go through and see if you can get the high score, whereas the black box is actually recording your data, and you don't know what it is. It's just you don't really know what the device is unless you know about it.
I'll tell you what, I ask my wife. It's the same thing. Vroom, 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 vroom. And it's mostly landscaping trucks and Bazzuto trucks, and they're flying up Route 730.
Yeah, I think the subtle one, Frank, would probably do more along what you're looking to do.
yeah, most people wouldn't even know that that's there.
Yeah. All right. Anybody have anything else for open business?
Don, did you have a list of sites where where speed enforcement is now?
Yeah,
The radar?
yeah, it was
Okay.
on the agenda. Sorghum at Hitchcock,
Okay.
Mountain at Ives,
Okay.
and Mountain at Foster.
Where the hell's Sorghum at Hitchcock? Where is it?
Hitchcock, if you're coming off of Mountain Road, I think Hitchcock is your first left off of Sorghum.
So you go up Sorghum Mill to Hitchcock. Yeah, all right, yeah.
So don't hold me to that. It's a street off of Sorghum.
All right. If nothing else for open
Thank-
business, on to new business. First thing's the treasurer's report. Looks like we still have our 500. Thank you, Frank.
Hold on. I got a report. I'm not the treasurer. I don't know who the hell it is. We still have our 500. Don and I have been communicating, and my 250 was intended to go to the Explorers, to go to New York to see the 9/11 memorial as a part of it. All right. They're having all sorts. Ask Donnie, but he's got better freaking things to do. All right. All sorts of trouble transferring the funds from our group to the Explorers. So I called Sean Kimball 2 weeks ago, and I said, Shawnee, you and I agreed that we were going to get this done somehow, some way, whatever. And, I hate to pester him. He's got he's facing a $175 million budget and whatever, and getting his, busted. But he didn't do it. So I called him yesterday. He called me back immediately. He says, "Yeah, I'm sorry, but," I said, "Look, let's make an agreement. We're going to buy 150 bags. Is that right, Don?
If you guys vote to it, it'd be 158 bags for $500.
And we'll address the $250 for the kids to go to New York next year. Give us our $500. We'll spend our $500 this year on bags. So if Donna gets the PO in, that's my, I'll vote to get a PO in for 100 bags, all with police department. I don't know where the hell the fire department ones went. I hope they got them, and I know the police department doesn't have them. Because Mike Durkee was looking for 2 of them. I said, "Mike, I don't know, they disappeared."
I think they went like hotcakes at the fall festival.
Yeah, they all went.
Yeah, they all went.
So if we have a fall festival this year, maybe that'll be the next thing to get canceled. I'd like to at least be prepared to have very successful handouts of those bags. So I will make a motion to approve $500, up to $500 purchase of 150 bags at Barker with our $500 budget.
I think just
Okay.
for Trinity, I think the math is 158 bags if that's good for you guys.
Whatever.
Perfect.
And adjust that to fit the budget.
All right, so we have a motion.
Second that motion.
Second.
Same
Thank you,
colors,
Joe.
even all that, right, guys?
Yeah, you got some white ones and some blue ones and some whatever ones, all right?
Yeah.
I leave it to you, Don.
All right, so all in favor of the motion on the floor?
Aye.
Aye.
We'll address the explorers. I keep wanting to call them kids, but they're not kids. We'll address the young men and women going to New York next budget period.
So is the issue in doing this the fact that the donation was made and that's what's causing the issue transferring the funds?
No. I am new to Cheshire politics. Thank you.
Tell me offline. That's fine.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, it is that the donation had to go or should have gone to the council from the Cheshire Public Safety Commission and then gone to the police department's gift account, the Explorers. Okay. Well, that hasn't been done and we'll deal with it next year. Sean tried to get a check cut before year end, but we'll work it out. Don't worry about it. No.
I think the simple explanation is that it would be easier for the PSC to pay for something like the trip.
Yep.
That's kind of what it came to, and then the trip didn't happen because of COVID, so
Exactly.
money didn't get spent.
Exactly. But they're kind of hoping to get it done either in the fall or next spring.
Yeah.
Got
So yeah, again, I think we're good. I know about politics.
And as far as it goes, I'll have the PO done tomorrow for the bags and contact Max Barker and have that all set. So
Thank you very much, Don.
Got it. And you'll just hang on to those at the PD or somewhere?
yeah, we'll sit on them. I guess if there's a fall festival, that'd be the point to do it. And if there's not, there's in good times, there's Girl Scout troops to come in, Boy Scout troops to come in, things like that. So
Yeah. The police officers and their kids and everybody.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, where did the bags go? Oh, I don't know. Your kids get any, Donnie?
What?
Did your kids get any?
They've had them from the past. Yeah.
in the past.
They carry dirty soccer clothes in them and stuff like that.
Ricky was upset because his kids didn't get any. I love it.
All right, moving on to the reports. No fire department reports because of COVID, but we have a police department report.
Yes.
Like anything major? Numbers are down. That's good, right? All across.
Yeah, it's just been quiet because of COVID. Nothing's going on basically anywhere. There have been, stolen vehicles have been popping up. We typically have been recovering them still within a day or two, a week at the most. There are a few motorcycles have been stolen recently. We have not recovered. We got a residential burglary for copper pipe. That's all that's really sticking out to me right now. That, pretty typical.
Let me ask a question, Don.
Go ahead.
Morale.
Morale?
Morale,
Morale's good.
good.
Good place. It's always been a good place to work.
Say again?
We've always had a good place to work. Guys always like coming to work.
I know, and we haven't had the problems that they've had around the country,
Yep.
but I
We-
sure
we-
your jobs, I'll tell you what.
We live in a good town and pretty much have support of, I think, the majority of the people here. So, you know, and people let us know it in this town. So we're thankful for that.
I do have a question related to the police department report.
Okay.
Lieutenant Durkee says there was no pistol permit applications processed in the month of May. Is that because none came in, or just because
No
of
finger.
COVID? Or
I think we were doing no fingerprinting because of COVID. I think that's easing up soon. So
okay,
It's up and running now.
they are up and running.
oh, good.
Are we getting quadruple numbers right now?
Tons and
Okay.
tons and
That's
tons.
what I thought. That's not shocking to me.
Yeah, don't touch me.
All right. Projects for the future.
I guess we're gonna postpone the police academy until the fall, which will probably get postponed until the spring. But, you know, I still would like to make sure that we do something about that.
And then general discussion, which is probably the appropriate time to bring up the request that Jim Jenks made of us to discuss the request about putting in sidewalks or making some kind of motion or declaration from this committee.
All right.
You have the email, Nick?
Yeah, I'm just pulling it up now.
Okay.
So as they're discussing the capital expenditure plan at the council, the topic of road resurfacing came forward. Jim's proposing they divert some of the road resurfacing budget towards the installation of sidewalks on major through streets such as Weiss, Country Club, Peck, Wolf Hill, Moss Farms, and others. He says the sidewalks are needed on these streets to complete a safe route from neighborhoods to schools, parks, and commercial areas. We currently only spend about 10% on sidewalks as we spend on road resurfacing, so a rebalancing of this ratio makes sense in his opinion. If the Public Safety Committee agrees regarding sidewalks, he asks that the committee pass a resolution or make a statement in favor of increasing the spending on sidewalks. And he says that if there are any other questions, to let him know. So looking at that, my initial opinion, just my opinion, would be, without having any real figures or anything to back any figures, it's tough to say how you need to increase spending on sidewalks and decrease spending on paving roads. Obviously, sidewalks are important and you need a safe route for kids, but it's very difficult to say anything or make any type of proclamation without any real numbers to back that up.
Couldn't agree more with you, Nicky. I will also say this, is that when I lived on Nob Hill, I had a huge piece of frontage on Nob Hill. And they were going to charge us to put in sidewalks. I can remember this day threatening my wife because I was sick at the time. She was going to a town meeting to vote on the sidewalks. I said, if you don't on the sidewalks, it's going to cost us a dime, I'll divorce you. True story, right? I thought the people who were getting sidewalks were responsible for paying for a part of those sidewalks. I think I agree with you. I need to know more about it in terms of who pays for what. You mentioned Weiss Road. If they put in sidewalks on Weiss Road, that's a huge, huge piece of road. And I'm not sure that the people on Weiss Road are all going to be happy about being assessed if that's the way they're still doing it. I don't know. Maybe they're not doing it that way anymore. If you had 100 feet of frontage, they were going to charge you $150 a foot to, you know, or whatever. I'm making up numbers, but to put in sidewalks. And then you were sure your responsibility basically to shovel them, to keep them clear, and that type of stuff. I'm not sure that that doesn't require a referendum. All right.
And I know that a couple of years ago, there was a topic of bringing sidewalks from Route 10 down to Westland Ave, going down Lanyon. And I know that that was met by quite a debate of the residents of Lanyon, who many did not want sidewalks. So I understand from the appropriations aspect, you may be wanting to revisit that to put in sidewalks, but I don't think sidewalks could actually be put in or even considered without talking to the residents or letting them have some kind of opinion and say on the matter.
Well, I think that, I agree. I don't think we have enough information.
Agreed. So I think it'd be fair to say to Jim, as of this time, we just don't have enough information to make any type of official proclamation or recommendation as a committee. Joe, do you have an opinion on that?
I do not. I'm falling in line with you guys here. I agree.
Thank you.
Now, on a different note, what does the commission feel about putting a stop sign on the corner of Flagler and Cedar Lane? I'd at least like to answer this gentleman with our yes, no, maybe, or whatever. Donnie, you said you had an update. Did the chief agree with Jim?
Yeah, give me 1 second. I forwarded it to you quite a little bit late. The chief's answer, it's pretty long with Deputy Chief's insight, but I'll just give you the bottom line is I will authorize the installation of a stop sign as requested. Please be aware that there will be a second stop sign installed at Cedar and Pleasant, and more importantly, no parking signs along the curves at the intersection of Cedar, Flagler, and Pleasant. I will be writing a letter and sending it to homes in the area to notify residents of the pending change and give them an opportunity to contact me with any concerns.
There's actually three. I drove by there tonight. There's actually 3 stop signs at that intersection. The one he's talking about, the one that's missing, the 4th stop sign on Cedar and Flagler. But all the other roads going up that hill all have stop signs. Okay. But I'd at least like to get the Cheshire Public Safety Commission on record of saying that we agree a stop sign should be placed at the corner of Cedar and Flagler. Yeah, let me go. It should have been brought to us first, damn it. And we could have discussed it and then asked Jim to step in. But, you know, I'd like to at least go on record of saying that we agree. Tracy, clean that up. Does everybody agree with me or not?
I agree with the fact that yes, it should have been kicked to the PD or some other, whatever group actually does the assessment, who can intelligibly tell us, yes, it does require it, or to give us more information. I think it's a great idea, especially now that we have all the information that it is happening.
But don't you think, Nikki, that we should have, the Cheshire Public Safety Commission should have had a chance to respond to Marcello before our councilman responded?
Yes, but I believe I am on the record at the beginning of this meeting agreeing with you of that fact.
Okay.
Yes, it was addressed to us. I believe that given the fact that we got correspondence a day before we were set to meet, it would have been fair to give us the opportunity to discuss, because one day is not going to make the world of difference.
Thank you.
So yes, I agree.
I'll second that motion.
What was the motion?
There's no motion. There's
Emotion.
a comment.
We're in agreement.
Did I tell you I'm running for legislature? Look at the look.
I'd back you, Frank.
You're up like a duck looking for a bone.
All right, let me go back in here so I can let me get back to the agenda.
Yep.
All right. So, does anybody else have anything for general discussion?
No.
No. If not, then I will entertain a motion.
To adjourn.
Frank, any second?
Second.
Joe, great. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, everyone. Thank you very much. We successfully had a Zoom meeting of the Public Safety Commission. Don, Tracy, thank you. Mike,
Thank you,
thank you.